See Lindelof videos. Implicit differentiation, and the reason that we have to be really careful on how we do this. Let this be number 25. So here we're asked to differentiate this function. When you're taking the AP exam, or if you're at the university, your professor is not going to say implicitly differentiate. He or she will just say to differentiate. And what you have to remember to do is differentiate the whole thing that they gave you. So this whole thing, your intention is to take ddx of this whole thing. Well, of course, the first derivative of y with respect to x is just y prime, right? Or dy dx, however you want to write that. And then we're going to go to the other side, and we're going to take ddx of this thing. This is quotient rule, isn't it? So I'm going to apply the quotient rule here. And I suspect that you already knew that. Quotient rule, remember, is g of x, which is the bottom function, times f prime at x minus f of x times g prime at x. So what is all over g of x squared? So we have g of x squared at the bottom. The question is, what is the derivative of x plus y? Well, the first derivative of x is 1. It doesn't just go away. And this is just sum or difference rule. And the first derivative of y is y prime. So if you got this far, that's kind of good. We're going to start to simplify. But I'm sure this is bothering you, or maybe this is bothering you, that you have y prime here and y prime here, and you're trying to figure out how the hell you're going to get from one place to the other. First thing I'm going to say to you is use your algebra and simplify, right? Use your algebra and simplify, keeping in mind what your goal is here. So if I multiply 1 times x plus y, I just get x plus y. If I multiply negative x times 1, I get negative x. If I multiply negative x times y prime, I get negative xy prime. Be careful to keep your y prime there. All over this x plus y squared. You may be tempted to expand this. If you do, it's going to turn into a heck of a mess. So hopefully you won't do that. I'm going to simplify this out. X cancels this x. I guess that's all I got there. I was hoping for a little bit more. Okay, so y prime is equal to y minus xy prime all over x plus y squared, the quantity. Remember, we're trying to get a single y prime here. We're trying to get one y prime, and we have 2 of them here. So I recognize already that the only way it's going to happen is I'm going to have to factor, but it's a little bit of a mess. What I am going to do is I'm going to cross multiply here. So I'm going to get y prime time, I'm trying to get this x plus y squared out of the denominator here. So x plus y squared here is equal to y minus xy prime. I can see clearly how you're going to be tempted to do a bunch of stuff here. Try to relax and just see if you can get everything that has a y prime to one side. So remember, if you divide by this, again, you're just going to go right back to this. So I'm just going to try to be patient here. And I'm going to add x, y prime to both sides. So I get y prime times x plus y squared. Remember, we couldn't distribute this if we wanted to because of this. Plus xy prime is equal to y. Believe it or not, we're almost there. It just looks a little bit bad. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this thing now like this. I'm going to put these parentheses here. Now maybe you can see I can factor out this y prime. So I'm going to take my y prime out. So y prime times x plus, x plus y squared plus x is equal to y. Look, now I only have one term of y prime. So we're really getting to our goal. Now divide both sides by this mess, and we get y prime is equal to y over x plus y, quantity squared, plus x. So keeping in mind, be super careful. It's just a lot of algebra, and you have to really think your way through it. I think one of the most common things is that people tend to think that when they see this bit right here, that they can drop this because, I don't know, maybe they're used to seeing a constant value here, like a 5 or a 9. And of course, ddx of a constant is 0, so it just goes away. In this case, that's not true. They gave us this, I believe, in anticipation that we mess this part up. All right? Also, when you get to the other side, ask yourself what rule you have and just work your way calmly through the rule that you know. It's going to work out fine. I swear it is. Have a plan, though. I think sometimes we get kind of scrambled and we just kind of go off and we're lost, we're not sure what to do, so we just do something desperate. That will hardly ever work. So thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do.